Hello, Williamson County. I'm Kerri Hudson, and welcome to It's About You, an informational program about the classes, activities, and special events of the Williamson County Parks and Recreation Department. It's hard to believe, but summer is almost over in Williamson County. The temperatures are still pretty hot, but in a few days the kids will be heading back to school, and we'll all start to revisit our family calendars and start making plans for the fall. Williamson County Parks and Recreation hopes that we can be a part of those plans. Our school system in Williamson County does an amazing job in building our kids' brain power. And we offer some excellent opportunities to exercise their other muscles as well, with some great upcoming youth sporting events and leagues. Realizing that several adults still like to play too, we also offer a series of upcoming adult fall programs. Joining me today is Amber Morris. She's the Assistant Athletics Administrator for Williamson County Parks and Recreation, and she's here to talk about these upcoming opportunities and programs. Amber, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here to talk about a ton of fun that you guys have planned for the fall. I know it can seem kind of odd to some people, like we're already making plans for the fall. And indeed we are. The time moves quickly. The older I get, the faster it goes. And it seems like we just started our summer, but we're already looking around the corner to the next season and opportunities for people to engage in some sporting events and activities. You guys have quite the list of programming coming up in the fall, and we want to highlight as much of that as possible, let people know about a lot of the great programs that you guys have lined up that are coming on in just a few short weeks, really. Let's start off talking about a fairly new event. It's in its third year. Over the past couple years with Williamson County Parks and Recreation, we've really seen an insurgent in youth sporting events, more so than just the traditional league play that we've always done, but in single competitor events. And with things like youth triathlons and aquathlons and other things like that. And so we've joined in with that as well. Happy to provide as many opportunities for kids in our community to be physically active and outdoors. And the athletics division's done an amazing job with the fins and feet aquathlon. And I'm not just saying that because someone taught me how to actually say the word aquathlon. It's a really amazing event to watch. Your staff does an amazing job putting this on every year.
Such an interesting event.
It really is. For people who aren't familiar with what an aquathlon is, explain the program for us and kind of walk us through the basics of it.
It's also kind of, some people refer to it as like a splash and dash. Basically, it's a triathlon without the biking aspect. So it's great for those individuals who are just kind of trying things out, interested in getting involved in triathlons, but maybe aren't quite so comfortable on the bikes, or they just want to hone in on their skills for the running and the swimming portion of it. So it's just a swim run event, and it's going to be for ages 6 to 14, and wide varieties of skill levels. So some of the kids are brand new, just beginners. Some of the kids are, competitors who are doing triathlons and are working on kind of honing in on their skills. But it's in every age group. There's a wide variety of skill levels. It's a little something for everybody, which is fantastic. In our third year, we had a great turnout last year. We anticipate the same thing for this year. And it's kind of towards the end of the season, mostly just trying to get people involved and interested in doing one last activity before the season kind of finishes out and you move on into the true fall team sports.
Right. The aquathlon is a great event to watch. You guys do an amazing job laying this out. In doing an event for children ages 6 to 14, you have quite a large age range and different levels of ability with the children. So you design this event with 3 separate age groups for competition, keeping the 6 to 8s together, the 9s through the 11-year-olds, and the 12 through the 14-year-olds. This event is held at the Indoor Sports Complex in Brentwood. You use the indoor pool there for your swimming portion, and then the children run outdoors on the grounds at the Indoor Sports Complex and into Tower Park. Correct?
Yes.
What I love from an event management standpoint is how you phase the course throughout the course of the event as these different age groups are competing, because based off the age group, children will swim and run different distances.
Right.
And watching you transform this and kind of, it's really big in the beginning for the 12 to 14-year-olds, and then we shrink it down a little bit for the 9 to 11s, and we shrink it down a little bit for the 6 to 8s, so that we can facilitate a truly fun and rewarding experience for as many kids as possible.
Absolutely. And there's people out on the courses and directions everywhere, so the chances of kids getting lost is pretty slim to none. It's kind of a small area, but yeah, they do different distances depending on their age, which is, works out well for the kids because it gives them a chance to kind of progress a little bit. So for the ages 6 to 8, they're going to only swim a 50-meter. And kind of one thing to note is that the pool will be in long course, which means it's going to be one long lane instead of the little short lanes, which is what people may be used to seeing at a pool. But with us having the Olympic-sized pool, we kind of take full advantage of that, and we do long course. So they'll swim, the youngest age group's going to swim just one lap, and then they're finished. And then they go out and they'll run a half a mile. Ages 9 to 11, they're going to swim a 200-meter, and then they're going to run a mile, and then 12 to 14 is going to do a 300, and they run 1.4 miles. We tried to get a 1.5 in there, but we just
Sometimes
couldn't add that extra.
Sometimes you just have to work with what you have.
Exactly.
And think, well, we got it pretty close.
Yes.
They would make that extra 10th probably pretty easily.
Yeah. And so this year what we're doing is, because it is not a sanctioned event, we're allowing children to race as of their age, as of the day of the event, which is August the 21st. So basically, however old you are at the day of the event, that's what age group you're going to race in, which kind of allows you to compete against kids who are actually your own age, which is kind of a nice thing. With USAT age groups, they're a little bit different, so therefore you might be racing with somebody much older or much younger. So it kind of made it honed in a little bit to race with your own age group. So.
Right. And still provide a great opportunity for just having some fun.
Yes.
I love how excited the kids get about these events, and you can just kind of see it in their faces.
Yeah.
There's a lot of intensity in those little faces for these types of events. There's a true sense of individual competitiveness, that kind of comes out where they just want to do the best that they can do.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so you see that intensity in their face, and they're just trying as hard as they can. And as a parent, of course, you love seeing when your child's engaged in something and really putting effort into it.
They think that they're all the next Michael Phelps.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is fantastic. We let them think that, and we let them compete and do their own thing. But it is really cute to see how they're really feeling like they're going to be the next Michael Phelps.
Everybody's got to have a dream.
Yes.
And then I love it when the kids finish, and you see that happiness in their face and that sense of pride that they've accomplished something that's pretty big.
Absolutely.
They can quantify it.
Yes.
I did an aquathlon. I swam 50 meters or 200 or 300, and I ran this, and this is my time. And they have something to call up the grandparents and be like, guess what I did?
The most amazing thing to me is if you stand at the finish line. First of all, when they come across the finish line, they get their medal. So it's an instant gratification for coming across, I finished, I did my job. But at the same time, there is a tunnel of parents and spectators who are there cheering on every single child who comes across that line. So it doesn't matter, it's not their own kid, it's just every single kid that comes. And there's even some kids, younger kids or siblings, who will race along the edges with the kids all the way through, just kind of forcing that encouragement. So that to me is the gratification that you cannot get just by knowing that you're providing an event for these kids and seeing the smile on their face. It's the whole experience for them in the end. So it's fantastic to see the community support that goes along with it.
Absolutely. And it's like you pointed out, every kid who participates in this event does receive a medal, and they also receive an event T-shirt as well. So the fun thing about these types of events for adults, I know, is the goodie bags, and we want the kids to have that same experience as well.
Absolutely.
Well, our third annual Fins and Feet Aquathlon is coming up on Sunday, August the 21st. Again, it is going to be held at the Indoor Sports Complex in Brentwood for children ages 6 to 14. Cost for the event is just $30, so very reasonably priced for a race of its stature. We do have early packet pickup times the day before the race, August 20th, as well as early morning the day of the race on Sunday, August 21st. Check-in will start at 6 a.m. that morning, and the race itself starts at 7:30 with our first age group.
Correct, yep.
More information about this event is available through our website at wcparksandrec.com, and online registration is open for it as well. We do have quite a list of sponsors that we want to thank for their involvement with this event. You usually know the size of your event when you look at the number of sponsors, and you have 12 community sponsors who have stepped up to help us produce the Aquathlon this year, and we certainly want to thank them for their help. Let us know who your sponsors are.
The biggest ones that we have this year is going to be Dick's Sporting Goods and Excel Aquatics and Premier Orthopedics. So they were kind of our main sponsors, gold level sponsors for the event. But then we have a variety of other ones, Aloft Hotels here in Cool Springs, All American Swim, Arby's Cyclery, Whole Foods, Sonic, LP Sports Academy, which is also known as Little Sluggers, then ASAP Awards, Race Day Events, and Star Physical Therapy. So, you know, like you said, a wide variety of different sponsors in all aspects, and we love their community support.
And we couldn't do it without our sponsors.
Absolutely.
So we genuinely thank you for their participation in helping us to make the Aquathlon possible. Well, that's just one of many activities that you do have coming up over the next couple of weeks. There's also a wide variety of fall athletic programs that are taking registration now or will be starting registration in the next couple of weeks that we want to let people know about as well. We'll stick with youth sports for a little while and talk about the fall session of the Tiny Tots Soccer Clinic.
Tiny Tots, I'm telling you, is something that there was kind of a little niche that was not being fulfilled by soccer families, which is for ages 3 to 6. Mostly because people are like 3 and 6-year-olds, they're too young, but really they're not. The way that we have our Tiny Tots clinics kind of set up is it's more about just the movement, working on the different skills to determine if your kid even likes to play soccer. I mean, you don't want to spend $100 on a registration if you don't even know that they really like it. So this is an extremely affordable way for them to be able to figure out whether whether the kids like soccer at just $35 for their 8-week session. So basically the kids show up each week. It's about an hour-long clinic, and depending on the age of the kids would determine what the time is. And, you know, they get out there and they play fun games, and sometimes they're doing things that they don't even know relate to soccer because they think it's just a game, but it's actually working on their fine motor skills or their foot skills or hand-eye coordination, which sometimes people just don't really think about. All of the things that go into playing a sport. It may look like they're just out there playing a game, but they're actually working on the skills, which is a nice way to disguise it to kids.
Absolutely. Well, registration for our fall session of Tiny Tots begins July the 27th. Make sure I say that right. The session will actually begin on Wednesday, September the 7th. It is an 8-week session that runs through the middle of October. The program is held at the indoor arena at Crockett Park in Brentwood off of Volunteer Parkway, and like Amber said, it is just $35 for the entire 8-week program, and is a wonderful way to get your kids out and active and engaged and really trying to assess, is this something they really do love and want to pursue?
Yeah.
Well, we have several adult programs to talk about as well, but we need to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll spend more time talking with Amber Morris about fall athletic opportunities with the Williamson County Parks and Recreation Department.
Get ready for the 2016 Williamson County Fair by visiting www.williamsoncountyfair.org. Here, you can find out about this year's attractions, competitive events, how you can get involved, and for the first time ever, you can now buy tickets online. Just click on the Tickets and Deals section in the top left corner and browse a selection of great deals and passes. Hope to see you there.
Welcome back to It's About You. We're talking today about athletic opportunities with the Williamson County Parks and Recreation Department. For the first half of our show, we've talked about a couple of youth programs. For the second half of our show today, we're going to talk about more opportunities for adults. Adult sports still continues to be one of the biggest programs that Williamson County Parks and Recreation runs and operates over the course of a year for us. And over the years, since I've been with the department, it's constantly continued to grow. When I started with the department, it was all the traditional adult sports that maybe you observed your parents participating in. It was softball, it was basketball, it was tennis. But it just keeps growing and interest levels just keep peaking. And I love how the division in general, the department really keeps up with the times and what people are interested in, what's that new thing that might help bring more people in or give other people another leisure or recreational opportunity, to the point now where we're spread across the board in the different types of athletic programs that we offer. Let's start off talking with adult sports, and we'll start with one of the traditional ones and talk about adult softball. It's a huge program our department runs. Between spring and fall leagues, though, it seems like we almost do it year-round.
And then there's summer in there, and sometimes we don't even finish the spring leagues before the summer has started, and we're just trying to finish up the summer before we get the fall started. And Mother Nature sometimes has other plans for us, but we're super excited to be able to offer the adult softball in a variety of different locations this year. So
absolutely,
they are going to be at Fieldstone Farms, Granny White Park, Nolensville Park, as well as Bethesda Park. So and the variety of different types of leagues that are being offered is just amazing to me. Daniel Lawson and Chris Gravely have done a fantastic job, kind of like you said, catering to what the trends are. So they've started offering, some of the co-ed leagues, instead of being you have to have 5 men, 5 women, they've started doing it as 7 men and 3 women, trying to just be able to, keep with the times, because let's be honest, women, we have children. We kind of fall off playing sports for a little while, and we may come back. They're having a hard time finding ladies to play. So they've kind of made that adjustment. They've looked at kind of adjusting the leagues and the levels of play and that kind of stuff. So there's a whole variety of things, from recreational church leagues all the way up into super competitive, 4A leagues. So they've done a fantastic job putting a list together of different leagues to
Absolutely. They will be, they're actually taking registration now through August the 15th for our fall programs. Seasons will start the week of August the 21st, and lots of different opportunities to look forward to that as well. Costs are around $450 to $500 per team, depending on the park and division that you register for. Another long-running adult program with the Parks and Recreation Department has been flag football. There aren't many community-based Parks and Recreation Departments who have 2 indoor arenas at their disposal to be able to offer things like indoor flag football. But with what we're able to do in our spaces, we've seen a tremendous amount of participation and support for these programs.
Absolutely. And, like you said, it's indoors. That's the best part about it all, is that you don't have to worry about the heat or Mother Nature, anything like that taking place. It's all indoors. It's a little bit of a smaller field, but it makes it so much fun for the guys.
And it's a wonderful thing, too, to see the different levels within this sport as well, and the different ways that people participate in this. It's a really, really fun league. Great group of men that participate in it. They have a lot of fun doing it. Registration will begin July 27th for a fall session at the indoor arena at Crockett Park in Brentwood. The league will start Tuesday nights on September the 6th. It's $350 a team, and will be another fun opportunity, I think, for a lot of people to play flag football.
Right, absolutely.
I thought about football this morning. I was like, I think we're just within less than 30 days to football again.
It's just amazing. Because time, like you said, time flies. The older we get,
that's
faster
true.
it goes.
That's definitely true. I don't think it's fair, but it's definitely true. Volleyball is another sport that's really blossomed in Williamson County over the last 10 to 15 years. And in context, we typically talk about the youth volleyball program a lot, just how that program started and how it has immensely grown in this portion of the world. But at the same time, too, we see that increase in the adult leagues, because once these children who have been raised on volleyball now and have played it since they were 6 or 8 years old, and maybe they kept with it through middle school and high school or college, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, I still want to play volleyball. And then that's when you see the resurgence in the adult program as well.
And most of our players who are in the current league, which is actually a sand volleyball league, which is generally a little harder to play because of the uneven surface, most of them are former high school players. Maybe I think there's a couple collegiate players in there, but most of them are high school players or high school coaches, which is really, really great that they can keep up their skills during the summertime. But yeah, moving to indoors, the co-ed is going to play in sixes, so it's three men and 3 women, and the women play with 4s. And they all play on women's height net. So it makes it a little bit easier for everybody to play on.
The indoor leagues will be played at the Franklin Recreation Complex in the gymnasium there. Registration starts August the 1st for our co-ed sixes leagues. That'll be Thursday nights, and women's quad leagues that'll be Sunday afternoons. Both those leagues will actually start the last week in September and play through the middle of November. Cost for it's $200 a team as well, so still a very affordable program for people to participate in. Then there's the one of our time-honored traditions in Williamson County. Tennis has always been a very popular sport in this area of the country. We have a great following of people, youth and adult, as well as senior, that participate in this lifetime sport. And we have a wonderful program that gives people a variety of opportunities to play.
And, you're talking about having 2 indoor arenas within this county. We also have a indoor tennis courts where there's 5 tennis courts. So we are very, very blessed in this county to be able to have these fabulous amenities. But with that, we are able to continue to offer, leagues and clinics and lessons year-round. And so right now, we kind of have registration going for the fall. Or I'm sorry, August the 15th is when it will open, but that'll be all the fall clinics, and there'll be a wide variety of things. Some of them will be indoors, some of them will be outdoors, some will be for adults, some for juniors. There is a wide variety. It just kind of depends on what your schedule holds, what kind of skill level that you're at, but it goes, the kids start as young as, kindergarten, first grade, all the way through adult and seniors. So there's no limit on how young or old you can be to play this lovely game of tennis. And
the great thing about the fall, too, is with the fall, you still have the outdoor options as well. The indoor courts are great, and like you said, it gives us year-round programming opportunities. But some of what people love about some of the more traditional sports like tennis, like softball, is that it gives them a chance to be outdoors. And you almost get to double your offerings during certain times of the year when you can offer indoor and outdoor opportunities and get just that many more people in participating. Like you said, our fall indoor clinic session starts August the 15th. Registration's open for it now. Again, we offer programs for youth through seniors. For our fall indoor and outdoor tennis leagues, registration is also open now. We have men's and women's singles, doubles, and mixed doubles, daytime, evening, flex scheduling leagues, just a variety of opportunities. Our tennis staff also is in tournament season, so to speak. They still have 2 tournaments left on the calendar. Our youth tournament coming up the first weekend in August, that's the 5th through the 7th, with the Little Harpeth Junior Slam. And then the Natchez Trace Hardcourt Championships, which is our second adult tournament of the summer, of the season, outdoor season. And it'll be held the weekend of September the 16th through the 18th. Registration about these tennis clinics, leagues, and tournaments is also all available through our website at wcparksandrec.com. And in our last few minutes, I do want to make sure that we touch on some of the ongoing sports. This is really the platform where we've seen some of those newer, maybe less traditional for this part of the country, games and sports brought into rotation for people to experience a wide variety of athletic opportunities. We have an amazing ongoing table tennis program that meets at Academy Park in Franklin, the Nolensville Rec Center, as well as the Indoor Sports Complex in Brentwood. Really been able to strategically place that program in several different amenities around the county.
And we're working towards adding a day and time in Fairview for the people on the kind of the
West
south,
side.
yeah.
Perfect. You have an excellent pickleball program. Pickleball is really kind of like volleyball. It was another sport that took Williamson County in one
By
great
storm.
surge. It really did. But people were kind of like, it's a funny name. I don't
What
get
is
it.
this?
What are you doing? You try it one time and you love it. It
Yeah.
really resonates with people, and people of different ages and ability levels are able to play it as well. And we have free open play sessions that we run out of the Franklin Recreation Complex, the Fairview Recreation Complex, the Nolensville Rec Center, and the Longview Recreation Center at Spring Hill that give people a variety of opportunities to participate in that kind of program. And then another program I don't think we get a chance to really mention enough, but it's also worth noting, we also have an ongoing fencing program.
We do. We have a fencing program, and it started maybe 2 years ago out of the Brentwood Arena, and they provide all of the equipment. That's the most fabulous part about it all. All of the forgive me, I'm not a fencing person, but everything that you would possibly need to take a fencing lesson, they have for you, and they teach you all of the skills. And yes, that is a fantastic program. That it's more one-on-one based. It's an instructor telling the kids and adults kind of how to do things. So it's really, really great.
The fencing is a little bit different, where it's an ongoing program that we offer, but it does require advanced registration for monthly sessions. But it's open to children ages 8 and up, and it's just another, I think, example of the variety that we try to create for the community to make sure that we're meeting as many interest levels as possible in what we offer to the department. Information about the fencing program, as well as the open play times for both our pickleball program and our table tennis program, are also available through our website, wcparksandrec.com. You can click on the Athletics and Aquatics tab at the top of the homepage, and our directory will take you to those appropriate locations as well. So you guys definitely have your hands full. There's a lot of things coming up, a ton of programming to look forward to. We hope you'll join us for some of these events over the course of the late summer and fall. Participate in as many as you want, or feel free to come out and spectate. But the majority of these programs are open to the public. If you just want to come and check it out one time to see if this might be something you think you want to sign up for next time, or if it's an open program like pickleball
which I would, if you haven't seen it, you have to go see it.
Yes, these are available for you to view as well. So feel free to join us at any time. We've quickly run through our time today, but I want to thank you for taking the time to come in and talk to us today and let us know about some of the things you guys have coming up.
It's always my pleasure.
All right, in closing today, I want to remind you guys about another upcoming athletic opportunity with the Williamson County Parks and Recreation Department. For kids ages 3 to 6 years old, we have our Mighty Tykes Triathlon that'll be taking place at the Williamson County Recreation Complex at Nolensville, coming up on Saturday, August the 27th. The event starts at 8:30 a.m. Additional information and registrations available through our website, or you could contact our event coordinator, Penny Ratliff, at 615-786-0200, extension 2417. In closing today, I want to remind you that information about all of our other programming opportunities, as well as links to additional information, photos, and videos of our programs, are available through our social media sites on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, and in the next couple of weeks, we'll also be starting an Instagram channel as well, so that you guys can stay up to date on as many of our programs as possible. I want to thank you guys for joining us for today's show. We'll see you next time. And until then, remember, Williamson County, it's all about you.